So agents are the future. Agents are going to change the way in which humans and software interact forever. Today, you're very accustomed to the fact that you go to a website or you download an application and some product manager or engineer has painstakingly tried to figure out what are the flows that you're going to need to be able to jump through to meet your request or to get your job done. And every app is going to have its own different workflow that caters to that particular use case and user need. That's the present we're in today. You're effectively building custom applications to solve particular use cases for users because there's a HCI, human computer interface, where you're effectively picking up some application and there's a user interface designed for you as a human being with the best amount of research done possible. That world is quickly crumbling. A reason why is because in the future, the way by which humans interact with software is going to be via natural language processing. You're going to speak to an application. You're going to speak to an agent. And that agent is going to learn based on what you have said. It would be able to traverse the internet and find applications that turns your intent into an actual outcome. That world is very fast approaching. We're seeing the increasing amount of users who are choosing to jump into agentic workflows, ask questions for ChatGPT, Grok, and other services like Perplexity as well, and getting outcomes. Even developers leveraging AI agents as a tool to build applications, helping them reduce the total cost of development time significantly by removing very laborious and repetitive tasks. Consumers are getting accustomed to the queries, as I mentioned before. Now, the internet is great for agents to read information. It's not so good allowing agents to actually get things done on behalf of users. It's that future that we're holding fast to. And we firmly believe it's a fundamental technology to make the agentic internet actually possible. In the world we're going to, we're not going to have a world where people build apps custom for users. We believe there's going to be a broad array of products and services available as applications that sit on the blockchain. So today, applications currently sit on centralized cloud services, and the way in which you engage with the application is via these customized, what we call application programmable interfaces, or APIs. Every application will have its own API. Every way by which I communicate with the app can be very different. And there is no way to ensure that the intent I want can be carried out across any number of these services at the same time. For example, I want to book a flight. In addition to booking a flight, I want to also book a meal at the best restaurant in town. At the same time, I want to book some excursions for that trip. In addition, I want to borrow money from a bank account to make this all happen at the same time. It would really be terrible if it booked the flight, but it couldn't book the excursion, nor could it book any other thing that I cared about, but the flight ends up being irrefundable. That is a world that we're faced with today. There is something called atomicity, which is a world where being able to do something in parallel and doing that with full finality, namely it either all happens or it all reverts. It needs to be possible in the world of an agentic future. You will not trust your agent if you give it a query, it does half the query, and then you lose a ton of money, or it does not give you the desired outcome. The internet today is not built to make it possible for agents to allow users' intent to fully be realized into actual outcomes. That world, before I explain how that world is coming with Sui, I want to give a bit of brief history. With programming languages, we had a mass transformation from when we switched from procedural programming languages to object-oriented systems. Object-oriented systems or object-oriented programming really emphasized a lot on code reuse. It allowed people to build a lot faster. It actually gave a stronger mental model for how users really think about information, think about data, and think about assets in a way where they can build the real world using an object-based system. The way you think as a human being is largely objects rather than just pure procedures. And object-oriented programming allowed greater expression for code. And we've seen a direct correlation between the introduction of object-oriented concepts to an explosion of applications and SaaS and everything else we've seen today. The amount of development we've seen in software, a lot of it can be attributed to shifting from basic procedural programming languages to object-oriented programming languages. Additionally, with the advent of object programming languages, we're able to do a lot more concurrent execution. We're able to build tools that made parallel processing even better than what we previously had. So there's been a lot of benefits that we've gained from having greater expression in programming languages in addition to tying that with performance, which is absolutely a must for the day, for the age we are in today. What we're making the case is that SWE is that system for the agentic future. Namely, SWE is enabling a world where the internet becomes object-oriented, in addition to giving you the speed that you need to operate an internet scale. While we're at Facebook, we imagined a world where the mass majority of internet traffic or the mass majority of user intent, things that want to do on the internet, will be effectively being done by agentic systems. We never imagined the agentic feature would take on this amazing speed, rapid speed we've seen in the last 3 to 4 years, with amazing models being built all around the world. But we are very well suited. We've built a platform that really is future-proof, that is already able to cater to that world. We built a demo with Google as part of their launch partner with the AP2 protocol, showcasing that SWE allows you to do agentic payments, but not just agentic payments, but lets you do atomic payments across any number of services you want to do at the same time. This is unmatched. It's not something you can do with traditional cloud service providers, and it's not something you can certainly do with existing blockchains. So in bringing object-oriented concepts to the internet, you can now tie storage, you can now tie performance, you can now tie payments, you can now tie very complicated internet paradigms together in a single workflow using SWE as a coordination layer.